Okay, we're making basic pot roast again. We're using a whole roast. This is beef choice chuck pot roast. Okay, it's approximately almost 3 pounds, just shy of 3 pounds. Okay, U.S. choice. You can use any other cut you want. It doesn't have to be. It's just a chunk of meat, basically. Okay, and I'm looking for the marbling again to make it tender. Okay, uh, normally most recipes will call you to brown this in a pan or in a pot, um, just to caramelize the outside to give it extra flavor. We're just gonna basically toss it in because we're trying to keep this real simple as possible. Okay, so before we toss in the chuck, we're gonna throw in. I sliced up an onion. Okay, and half of it's gonna go on the bottom. That's kind of to prevent the roast from burning on the bottom of the pot. And so I'm just lining the bottom with onions. Okay, and then toss in the chuck straight on top. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna toss the onions on top, the rest of the onions on top. Now, okay, for seasoning, you can keep it the bare minimum if you want, like salt and pepper, maybe some garlic if you like. I'm keeping this simple also. I'm putting a little olive oil in. It can be any oil, but we're just putting a little on the bottom to give the onions a chance to, caramelize while it's cooking in the pot. And again, this is all at one time. We're just going to dump everything in, turn on the pot. Okay, I like adding a little soyu. It's up to you what your favorite seasoning is. You can add Cajun seasoning or whatever your local favorite is. Okay, and of course I like a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, now that's it. That's basically it. Okay, you can add other things you want, stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to add a little, like whatever you have open. I'm going to toss in a little wine, but I don't have any wine open, so I'm just going to use some cream sherry. Okay, no particular reason other than the bottle's open. I'm just going to put a splash inside. Okay, that will give a extra richness to the broth. Now the onions, because we're cooking this such a long time, the onions will basically dissolve and go into the sauce. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of liquid to the meat because we're using a rice pot and we want to add some liquid so that it gets up to heat fairly quickly. So I'm adding in about 3/4 to 1/4 cup. It just don't drown the pot roast. Okay, so it's about about 1 inch from the bottom of the pot. That's how much liquid is in there. So as long as we got that much in there, you can add more, you can add less. It's up to you because the rice pot is automatic. So I'm just going to turn it on, put on the cover, and just let it go. What will happen is the pot will bring it to a boil, and once most of the liquid has been steamed off, it will click off. Now you can add a little bit of liquid at that point, but it's really not necessary because what's going to happen is it's going to go on warm, and the juices from the onions and whatever juices in the meat will reduce and bring more liquid into the pot without adding any more. Okay, and that's going to be your au jus or your gravy. Okay, and that's going to give you the richness of the pot roast. Okay, so basically this is going to run until it clicks off. It's going to be on warm. We'll probably leave it on warm for like the next 3 hours and just let it sit on warm. Okay, so as far as health wise, most of the bacteria that's on the outside of any cut of meat will be sterilized because of the boiling. And then once it reduces that, it'll just settle down and then simmer the rest of the way. Okay, so that's it for a basic pot roast. Dump it all in at one time.